Welcome to the first Awareness Through Movement class in our Feldenkrais Method recording series.
歡迎嚟到我哋魁根斯方法嘅錄音系列入邊第一堂嘅動中覺察課堂。
What you'll need for this class is a yoga mat.
上呢一堂呢，你需要一張瑜伽席。
And if you don't have a yoga mat, you can have a towel.
如果冇瑜伽席嘅話呢，有一塊毛巾都可以嘅。
And you can have your yoga mat on the floor, your towel on the floor.
你可以將瑜伽席或者毛巾擺喺地下。
And I'd like you to come and lie down on your yoga mat or on your towel.
而家請你呢，可以喺你嘅瑜伽席或者毛巾上邊瞓低。
If you're wearing glasses, take your glasses off.
如果你有戴眼鏡嘅話呢，可以先除低眼鏡。
If you're wearing a belt, you can take your belt off.
有穿皮帶嘅可以除低佢。
And have your legs long.
我哋呢，可以讓我哋嘅雙腿伸長。
But if having your legs long, if you don't feel that's comfortable, you can bend your legs and bring your feet to stand.
如果伸長雙腿你覺得唔舒服嘅話呢，亦都可以曲膝，讓你嘅兩隻腳嘅腳板底呢放喺席上面。
But if you're good with your legs long, have your legs long.
但如果伸長雙腿係可以嘅話呢，請你伸長雙腿。
Begin to sense how the back of you is contacting the floor.
請你開始留意下你身體嘅背部係點樣接觸個地下嘅呢？
Sense your pelvis.
留意下你嘅盤骨。
Sense the area of your bottom.
留意下你嘅臀部。
Does one side of your bottom feel more in contact with the floor?
會唔會呢？你一邊嘅臀部呢係比較貼近個地下多啲嘅呢？
Or does your pelvis feel tilted more to one side?
又或者會唔會覺得你嘅盤骨呢可能呢會有傾側去一個方向嘅呢？
And then bring your attention to your lower back.
然後請你將注意力帶去你嘅下背。
All of us will have a space where the lower back is not in contact with the floor.
我哋每一個人呢都會喺下背嗰度有一個空間呢係掂唔到地下嘅。
You may sense this space as like an arch or a small bridge.
呢一個空間呢個感覺有少少似一個拱門或者小橋咁樣。
How big does the arch, how big does the bridge feel for you?
呢一個小橋嘅位置而家呢對你嚟講有幾大呢？
Bring your attention to your upper back.
而家請你將注意力帶到去你嘅上背。
Sense both shoulder blades.
留意下兩個肩胛骨。
Which shoulder feels more in contact with the floor?
邊一邊嘅膊頭呢比較貼近地下多啲呢？
Which shoulder blade feels more pressure on the floor?
邊一邊嘅肩胛骨呢係壓落去地下壓得重啲㗎？
As you're sensing now for differences,
當我哋去留意我哋身體入邊有啲唔同嘅感覺嘅時候，
it's with a sense of having there's no correct way to do this movement or this class.
請你知道呢，係其實冇話乜嘢為之一個正確嘅方法嘅。
Some of you may feel that your right shoulder is more in contact with the floor.
可能有啲朋友呢，右邊嘅膊頭會貼近個地下多啲。
Others may feel the left shoulder blade.
可能有啲朋友呢，係左邊嘅膊頭貼近地下多啲。
Others may feel, I don't really sense a difference between the two.
亦都有啲朋友呢，可能係覺得兩邊冇乜分別嘅。
All are good, all are okay.
所有都係可以，冇問題嘅。
And now begin to sense your breathing.
而家呢，請你開始留意下你嘅呼吸。
And what parts of your body do you feel are moving when you breathe?
當你呼吸嘅時候，你有冇留意到身體有邊啲部分呢係會喐㗎？
Can you feel movement in your belly?
會唔會留意到腹部有喐動呢？
Do you feel movement in your chest?
會唔會感覺到胸口有喐動呢？
Does the belly move more than the chest, or the chest more than the belly?
會唔會覺得腹部嘅喐動會大過胸口，定係胸口嘅喐動大過腹部呢？
Can you feel movement in the sides of you?
會唔會留意到身體嘅兩側有喐動呢？
Do you feel movement in the back of you when you breathe?
會唔會感覺到背脊喺你呼吸嘅時候會有喐動㗎？
Please take both hands and place the palms of your hands on your lower belly, on your lower abdomen.
請你呢將雙手嘅手掌心放喺你下腹嘅位置。
The area between your belly button and your pubic bone.
喺我哋嘅肚臍同恥骨之間嗰個位置。
Begin to sense the movement of your lower abdomen as you breathe in and breathe out.
開始留意下呢，我哋吸氣同埋呼氣嘅時候，我哋下腹呢一個地方嘅喐動。
And you're listening and you're sensing with your own hands.
我哋透過我哋自己嘅雙手去感覺同埋聆聽。
Can you feel that as you inhale, as you breathe in, that your lower belly begins to move up into your hands?
你會唔會留意到呢？當你吸氣嘅時候，你嘅下腹呢會升起，向你嘅雙手嘅手掌心靠近。
And as you exhale, your belly gently moves down.
當你呼氣嘅時候呢，你嘅下腹呢就會慢慢向下沉。
And just sense this soft, easy, rising movement of the belly into both hands as you inhale, and then this gentle downward movement of the belly moving away from your hands as you exhale.
你繼續留意下，當我哋吸氣嘅時候，我哋嘅腹部好輕易地升起，去貼近我哋嘅手掌心。當我哋呼氣嘅時候，腹部又係好輕易地去下沉，離開我哋嘅手掌心。
And now take your hands off your belly, bring your hands down to the side and have a rest.
咁咧，請你可以將兩隻手放返去身體嘅兩側，休息一下。
Please bend both legs and bring your feet to stand.
請你將兩隻腳曲膝，兩隻腳嘅腳板底擺響席上面。
And have a space between your knees and a space between your feet.
請你響兩隻腳同埋兩個膝頭哥之間呢，可以保持一個空間嘅。
Let's say roughly that your feet are shoulder width apart, so they're kind of in line with both your shoulders.
請你可以將雙腳呢大概擺響膊頭咁闊嘅位置，令到你兩隻腳呢同兩個膊頭呢可以大概成一直線嘅。
Begin to gently take both legs down to the left.
請你慢慢可以將兩隻腳放向左邊，
And then bring them back to the center.
然後慢慢帶返佢哋嚟中間。
And do this movement a number of times, taking both legs to the left and then bringing them back to the center.
請你可以將呢個動作呢來回做幾次，讓你嘅雙腳放去左邊，然後又帶返嚟中間。
And begin to sense how the right side of your bottom, the right side of your lower back begins to come away from the floor.
留意下，當你做呢個動作嘅時候呢，你右邊嘅臀部同埋下背呢會離開咗少少個脊嘅。
And then as you bring both knees, both legs back to the center, the right side of your back will contact the floor again.
然後當你將雙腳帶返嚟中間嘅時候呢，你嘅右邊嘅背脊呢又會掂返落去地下。
And the next time both legs are back in the center, lengthen your legs, have a rest.
下一次你嘅雙腿返返嚟中間嘅時候呢，可以伸長兩隻腳休息一下啦。
So bend both legs again, bring your feet to stand.
請你再一次曲膝，讓兩隻腳板底放響席上面。
Please begin to take both legs to the right.
請你將兩隻腳而家放去右邊，
And then bring them back to the center.
然後帶返嚟中間。
And do this movement a number of times, taking the legs to the right, then bringing them back to the center.
請你呢個動作呢，可以來回做幾次，讓我哋嘅雙腿放去右邊，然後慢慢帶返嚟中間。
And feel how one side of your bottom, one side of your pelvis is coming away from the floor as the other side begins to contact the floor or press into the floor.
留意下呢，你嘅盤骨呢，當你做呢個動作嘅時候，有一邊呢係會離開咗個脊，另一邊呢就會更加貼近個地下嘅。
Does it feel easier or more challenging to do this movement on this side compared to the other side?
當你做呢個動作嘅時候，你會唔會覺得做呢一邊相比起另一邊會唔會容易啲呢？
The next time both legs are back in the center, stop, lengthen your legs, have a rest.
下一次你嘅雙腿返返嚟中間嘅時候，請你可以伸長雙腿休息一下啦。
So bend your right leg and bring your right foot to stand.
請你可以曲你嘅右腿，讓你嘅右腳板底放喺席上面。
Your left leg is long.
你嘅左腳呢係伸長嘅。
So we're going to look now at another way, a different way to roll your pelvis.
我哋呢而家會試下用另一個方式呢去轉動我哋嘅盤骨喎。
So I'd like you to begin to press your right foot into the floor to tilt your pelvis to the left.
我哋而家試下呢，將我哋嘅右腳掌啦喺席上面呢，俾少少力呢撐落去，然後呢，讓我哋嘅盤骨呢旋轉向左邊。
And then bring your pelvis back to contact the floor again.
嗱，慢慢讓我哋右邊嘅盤骨掂返落去席度。
And again, press the right foot into the floor, roll the pelvis to the left.
然後再一次，我哋將右腳掌撐落地下，然後旋轉我哋嘅盤骨向左邊。
But your right knee doesn't move to the left when you press the right foot into the floor. The right knee stays relatively where it is.
當我哋呢將右腳撐落地下嘅時候呢，我哋嘅膝頭哥呢唔會旋轉嘅，仍然呢係大概指向天花板嘅方向嘅。
And if the right knee does move, it's more an upward movement or a lengthening towards the ceiling.
如果你嘅右膝頭哥有喐動嘅話呢，嗰個動向呢係指向天花板，可能呢有少少呢伸延向天花板嘅感覺嘅。
And then you bring the right side of your pelvis back to contact the floor again.
然後請你將右邊嘅盤骨再一次放返落去地下。
And again, press the right foot into the floor, roll your pelvis to the left.
然後再一次將右腳掌撐落地下，將我哋嘅盤骨旋轉向左邊。
And then gently bring the right side of your pelvis back to contact the floor again.
然後慢慢讓我哋右邊嘅盤骨落返地下啦。
Lengthen your right leg, have a rest.
伸長我哋嘅右腿，休息一下。
And one thing about these classes is that you can take a rest whenever you want.
記得呢，我哋上呢啲課堂嘅時候呢，我哋隨時都可以休息嘅喎。
You don't need to wait for Amanda or I to ask you to take a rest.
唔需要呢，等我或者阿 Sean 呢去提大家休息㗎。
You can even, if you want, you can even pause the recording, have a longer rest, and then you can come back to play the recording again.
甚至呢，你可以停咗呢一個錄音，俾自己有一個長啲嘅休息，然之後再開返個錄音去繼續。
Bend your right leg, bring your right foot to stand.
請你曲你嘅右腳，讓右腳板底放喺席上面。
Begin to roll your pelvis to the left by pressing your right foot into the floor, lengthening your right knee towards the ceiling.
我哋讓我哋嘅右腳掌呢撐落地下，同時我哋嘅盤骨轉向左邊。
And now to bring the right side of your bottom back to contact the floor, I'd like you to just drop the right side of your bottom. So you just let everything go and you just drop it down.
今次呢，當大家將個右盤骨放返落地下嘅時候呢，可以呢係讓個盤骨呢跌落去個地下度嘅。
So you're slowly, gently rolling the pelvis to the left. The right side of your bottom, the right side of your lower back is off the floor. And then you drop that's it. You drop the right side of the bottom, the right side of the lower back.
所以呢，我哋呢撐隻右腳落地下，同時升起同埋旋轉我哋嘅盤骨去左邊之後呢， 我哋可以讓我哋右邊嘅下背同埋臀部嘅位置呢跌返落去個地下嗰度。
Rolling the pelvis to the left.
讓我哋嘅盤骨轉向左邊。
And this time, as you bring the right side of your bottom back to contact the floor, control the movement. Do it slowly, gently, so that the right side of your lower back and the right side of your bottom slowly come to contact the floor again.
然後今次呢，當我哋右邊嘅臀部同埋下背落返去地下嘅同時呢，我哋試下控制住佢咯，令到佢可以好溫和同埋慢慢地落返去個脊上面。
And now take a rest. Lengthen your right leg.
然後請你呢伸長返右腿，休息一下啦。
Bend your right leg, bring your right foot to stand.
我哋再一次曲右腳，讓你嘅右腳板底踩響脊上面。
Begin to roll your pelvis to the left, and at the same time, I'd like you to roll your head to the right.
今次呢，請你撐你嘅右腳落地下，然後將我哋嘅盤骨旋轉向左邊嘅同時呢，請你將個頭呢轉去右邊。
So your head is moving in the opposite direction to your pelvis.
所以你嘅頭嘅轉動呢嘅方向同盤骨轉動嘅方向係相反嘅。
And as you bring the right side of your pelvis back to contact the floor again, I'd like you to bring your head back to the center.
然後請你將你嘅盤骨放返落地下嘅同時呢，亦都將你嘅頭帶返嚟中間。
And continue doing this movement of rolling the pelvis to the left as you roll the head to the right, and you bring them back slowly to the center again.
我哋試下再嚟呢，將我哋嘅盤骨旋轉向左邊，同時個頭呢轉去右邊，然後呢同一時間地呢將盤骨同埋頭呢都轉返嚟中間。
What do you feel in your neck?
你嘅頸有咩感覺㗎？
Does rolling the head in the opposite direction to the pelvis, do you feel a constraint in the movement?
當我哋嘅盤骨同埋頸呢相反方向地轉嘅時候，會唔會喺條頸嗰度呢覺得個動作呢係有啲限制㗎？
And now begin to roll your head in the same direction as your pelvis. So as you press your right foot into the floor, as you roll your pelvis to the left, you roll your head to the left.
然後呢，請你讓你嘅頭同埋盤骨呢而家向同一個方向轉動咯。所以當你嘅盤骨轉向左邊嘅時候呢，請你都將個頭轉去左邊。
You bring everything back to the center again.
然後呢，將所有嘢都帶返嚟中間啦。
Lengthen your leg, have a rest.
伸長雙腿休息一下啦。
Sense how the back of you is in contact with the floor now.
留意下你嘅背部係點樣同個地下接觸㗎？
Does one leg feel longer than the other leg?
會唔會有一條腿呢覺得係長過另一條腿㗎？
Does one side of your bottom contact the floor more than the other?
會唔會有一邊嘅臀部呢貼近個地下多一啲㗎？
Does one shoulder blade feel more in contact with the floor compared to the other?
會唔會有一邊嘅肩胛骨會更加比另一邊貼近個地下呢？
So we don't want your left side to feel it's being left out.
我哋呢冇遺忘到另一邊嘅。
So bend your left leg, bring your left foot to stand.
我哋將左邊嘅腳呢，我哋曲膝，然後將左腳板底擺喺脊上面。
Take a moment to sense the contact of your left foot fully on the floor.
用少少時間去感覺下你嘅左腳板底呢，完全貼喺個地下嗰度。
Begin to press your left foot into the floor. Roll your pelvis to the right.
我哋開始將我哋嘅左腳板底呢撐落去地下嗰度，同時間呢，我哋轉動我哋嘅盤骨向右邊。
And then bring the left side of your pelvis back to contact the floor again.
然後慢慢呢，將我哋左邊嘅臀部放返落去地下。
Continue this movement.
我哋來回繼續去做呢一個動作。
And just sense how as you roll your pelvis to the right, the whole right side of you, your bottom, your lower back, the ribs on the right, it's as if they melt into the floor on the right side.
感覺下呢，當你將身體轉向右邊嘅時候呢，整個右邊嘅身體，我哋嘅臀部、背部，好似呢會溶咗落去個地下度咁樣。
Bring your attention to the long leg, the right leg.
將注意力帶到去你伸長咗嗰隻右腳嗰度。
And begin to sense how the long leg can also turn so that the outside of your right foot moves closer to the floor as you tilt the pelvis to the right.
當我哋將個臀部轉向右邊嘅時候呢，留意下你嘅腳呢都可以向右邊旋轉嘅喎，所以呢，你嘅腳嘅右側呢，好似呢會貼近多啲嘅地下咁樣。
The next time the left side of your bottom, the left side of your lower back contacts the floor, lengthen your left leg, have a rest.
下一次你嘅臀部翻返嚟中間，你右邊嘅背脊再掂返落地下嘅時候呢，請你可以伸長雙腳休息一下啦。
Bend your left leg again, bring your left foot to stand.
我哋再一次曲左腳，讓我哋嘅左腳板底踏響脊上面。
Begin to press your left foot into the floor, roll your pelvis to the right.
將我哋嘅左腳呢撐落去個地下嗰度，讓我哋嘅臀部呢旋轉向右邊。
And now begin to drop your bottom, drop the left side of your bottom to contact the floor.
嗱，而家請你呢，讓你嘅盤骨呢跌返落去個地下嗰度。
It's like you let everything go, you drop it down, and then you begin again to press the left foot into the floor to slowly and gently roll the pelvis to the right.
我哋讓個盤骨呢跌落去地下嗰陣時呢，好似呢完全唔需要有任何嘅力嘅，讓佢就咁跌落去。然後呢，我哋又慢慢呢撐返個左腳落地下，旋轉個盤骨向右邊。
So there's a slow movement of rolling the pelvis to the right, and then you just drop it back down.
所以呢，係一個慢慢旋轉個盤骨去右邊嘅動作，然之後呢，俾左邊盤骨可以呢好快咁樣跌返落去個地下嗰度。
And the next time you bring your pelvis back to contact the floor, don't drop it, but make the movement slow, gentle, slightly controlled. So it's a kind of controlled movement of taking, you feel the left side of your ribs contacting the floor, you feel your lower back on the left contacting the floor.
下一次當你個盤骨呢放返落去地下嘅時候呢，請你可以慢慢放啦。今次呢唔係跌佢落去咯，我哋有少少嘅控制嘅。等你呢可以感受到你嘅肋骨啦、背脊啦同埋盤骨呢慢慢落返去個脊嗰度嘅。
Lengthen your left leg, have a rest.
然後請你伸長左腿，休息一下。
Please bend both legs.
今次請大家曲兩隻腳，兩隻腳嘅腳板底呢都喺脊上面。
Have your feet shoulder width apart.
你兩隻腳呢可以大概膊頭咁闊嘅。
Begin to press your right foot into the floor to roll your pelvis to the left.
你可以將我哋嘅左腳呢壓落去個脊嗰度，然之後讓我哋嘅盤骨呢轉向左邊。
Your right knee stays towards the ceiling.
你嘅右腿嘅膝頭哥呢繼續呢指向天花板嘅。
The left leg can move slightly to the left.
你嘅左腿可以輕輕轉向左邊。
Bring the right side of your pelvis back to contact the floor.
然後將我哋右邊嘅盤骨慢慢放返落地下。
And now press your left foot into the floor so that you begin to roll your pelvis to the right.
然後而家呢，將我哋嘅右腿、右腳撐落去個地下度，慢慢讓盤骨呢轉去右邊。
And begin to alternate from one side to the other side.
然後我哋左右兩邊輪流轉下。
You're rolling your pelvis from one side to the other side, and you're doing this by pressing your feet into the floor.
我哋呢左右兩邊轉動嘅盤骨呢一個動作係由我哋撐隻腳落去地下嗰度開始嘅。
As you roll your pelvis to the left, you press the right foot into the floor.
當我哋嘅盤骨係轉向左邊嘅時候，我哋係撐右腳落地下嗰度。
As you roll your pelvis to the right, you press your left foot into the floor.
如果我哋係轉向右邊，我哋嘅盤骨轉向右邊嘅話呢，我哋係左腳撐落去個地下嗰度。
Continue.
我哋繼續。
What's happening in your ribs?
做緊呢個動作嘅時候，你嘅肋骨係點樣㗎？
Do you feel movement in your chest?
會唔會感覺到胸口會有一啲喐動㗎？
What's your head doing?
你嘅頭又係點樣㗎？
Can you feel the relationship between your pelvis and your head?
感唔感覺到你嘅盤骨同你嘅頭嘅關係啊？
The next time your pelvis is back in the middle, stop.
下一次你嘅盤骨返嚟中間嘅時候，請你停低，
Lengthen your legs, have a rest.
伸長雙腿，休息一下。
Bend your legs, bring your feet to stand.
我哋再一次曲膝，讓兩隻腳嘅腳板底放喺脊上面。
take the palms of both hands and put the palms of both hands on your forehead.
我哋讓兩隻手嘅手掌心放喺我哋嘅額頭上面。
And have your fingers or your fingertips, they're touching somewhere near the top of your head. So your palms are on your forehead and your fingertips are somewhere towards the top or the crown of your head.
我哋嘅手指係大概呢會去到我哋嘅頭頂嘅位置嘅，所以呢，我哋嘅手掌心喺額頭，手指頭呢指向我哋頭嘅頂部。
And your elbows will be relatively towards the ceiling. It's as if your arms or your elbows is like a big nose.
我哋嘅手踭呢係指向天花板嘅，個感覺呢就好似我哋成隻手呢個形狀呢，好似一個好大嘅鼻咁樣。
And I'd like you now to keep your big nose, and I want you to gently take both legs down to the left.
我哋維持呢雙手呢一個好大嘅鼻子嘅呢一個位置，同時呢，讓我哋兩條腿呢轉向左邊。
And then bring both legs back to the center and take them over to the right.
讓我哋嘅雙腿帶返嚟中間，跟住呢又轉去右邊。
And go from one side to the other side.
我哋左右兩邊轉動。
But your big nose is preventing your head from moving.
因為呢，我哋雙手呢擺咗喺呢一個大鼻子嘅位置啦，我哋嘅頭呢係唔會跟住個身體去轉動嘅。
Can you feel the moment you cross the middle point, when you go from through the middle of your spine and then the weight goes onto the left side of the back, and then you come through the middle and the weight goes onto the right side of the back?
請你可以感覺下呢，我哋嘅身體呢由一邊返嚟中間，再去到另一邊。當我哋嘅腳去旋轉嘅時候呢，係有呢幾個部分嘅。
What do you feel in your upper back?
你嘅上背有咩感覺啊？
Can you feel a lengthening in your spine, a lengthening in your back as you take both legs from one side to the other side?
當我哋嘅腳左右兩邊轉動嘅時候呢，你有冇感覺到你嘅背脊或者你嘅脊骨有一種拉長咗嘅感覺㗎？
And then bring both legs back to the center.
然後將雙腿帶返嚟中間。
Bring both arms down to the side.
雙手放返落去身體兩側。
And gently take both legs to the right, back to the center, and over to the left.
然後慢慢呢，將兩隻腳呢旋轉去右邊，返去中間，再放去左邊。
Just sense now how that movement's coming on.
留意下而家呢一個動作嘅感覺又係點樣呢？
What's happening in the head?
你嘅頭嗰度係點樣㗎？
Feel the movement in the ribs.
留意下你肋骨嗰度係點樣呢？
And the next time you're back in the center, stop.
下一次你雙腿返到嚟中間嘅時候，請你停低，
Lengthen your legs.
伸長雙腿，
Close your eyes.
眯埋眼。
And sense now how the back of you is contacting the floor.
留意下而家你嘅背脊係點樣同地下接觸㗎。
Sense how your pelvis is lying on the floor.
留意下你嘅盤骨係點樣喺個地下上面㗎。
Does this part of the body, is this area become a little bit more clearer to you now?
身體嘅呢一部分呢，對你嚟講個感覺會唔會而家清晰咗一啲啊？
Can you sense the weight of your pelvis being supported by the floor?
會唔會感覺到盤骨嘅重量係俾個地下承托住啊？
Sense your lower back.
留意下你嘅下背。
What's the space like now between the lower back and the floor?
而家你嘅下背同地下之間嗰個空間又係點樣㗎？
Does your lower back feel closer to the floor, flatter on the floor?
你嘅下背呢，而家會唔會貼近咗地下多啲啊？
Sense your shoulders and your shoulder blades.
留意下你嘅背脊、你嘅膊頭同埋肩胛骨。
Do they feel flatter on the floor?
佢哋會唔會呢喺個地下上面而家感覺會平咗一啲啊？
Gently roll your head from one side to the other side.
慢慢讓你嘅頭左右兩邊轉動一下。
How is this coming along?
呢個轉動嘅感覺而家又係點樣㗎？
Do you feel any difference in rolling the head compared to the beginning of the class?
相比起啱啱開始上堂，而家轉動呢個頭嘅動作有冇唔同到呢？
Has the quality of the movement changed?
你呢個動作嘅質感有冇唔同到啊？
Continue to roll your head, but open your eyes now. Open your eyes.
我哋繼續轉動個頭嘅同時呢，請你可以打開眼睛。
And just bring your attention to your room, the space that you're doing the class in.
留意下我哋身處嘅空間。
See what's to the right side of you.
睇下你右邊有啲乜嘢，
What's above you.
你上面有啲乜嘢，
What's to the left.
你左邊又係點㗎？
And then bring your head back to the center.
然後將頭帶返嚟中間。
Bend your legs, bring your feet to stand.
你曲膝，讓兩隻腳嘅腳板底踩喺脊上面。
Gently take both legs to the side. You can choose either the left or the right.
我哋讓雙腿呢放去一邊，左邊又得，右邊都得。
Then take your arm, your opposite arm across your chest. So if you roll to the right, take your left arm across the chest. Press your left hand into the floor to bring you up to sit.
然後呢，就將反方向嘅手，如果你轉去右邊嘅話呢，請你用左手橫跨過你嘅胸口呢，撐落去地下嗰度，支撐住自己嘅身體，坐返起身。
And then come to stand.
然後慢慢企返起身。
Come and stand on your mat.
企喺我哋嘅脊上面。
Close your eyes.
請你眯埋眼。
Allow your arms to just hang at the side.
讓你嘅雙臂呢，向身體嘅兩側垂低。
And just sense now your contact with the floor through your feet.
留意下你而家雙腿雙腳掂住地下嗰個接觸嘅地方。
Do you feel heavier?
會唔會覺得重咗一啲呢？
Lighter,
或者輕咗、
longer?
長咗？
Do you feel a connection to the ground underneath you?
感唔感覺到你同腳下嘅地板有一種連結嘅感覺呢？
And if you feel that connection, how deep does that feel below you in the earth?
如果有一種連結嘅感覺嘅話，呢一種感覺去到幾深呢？
Like a tree with roots?
係咪好似一棵樹有啲根生咗入去泥土入邊咁呢？
Open your eyes.
請你打翻開眼睛，
Have a walk in your space.
響你身處嘅空間嗰度行下。
So thank you, and we'll see you for our second class of our program.
多謝大家，我哋呢會響呢一個系列入邊嘅第2堂呢再見啦。